Hello, this is Joanna the Medium, and thank you so much for coming back. A little bit of an intro. First of all, thank you so much for watching, for liking, for subscribing, and for sharing. It means the world to me. Thank you so much for all your comments. I read every single one of them, and even if I don't respond to most of them because it's not feasible, I do read every single one of them, as well as your emails. If you would like a private session, of course, you can contact me with the information down below. I have included links below for you. These are general readings, so they will not make sense to all of you. They shouldn't make sense to all of you. Also, if one sign does not make sense to you, as in sun sign, listen to your rising sign and your moon sign. And I find, not only from myself, but also from those who comment, that the additional signs tend to paint a more complete picture of what is going on. Many of these messages will not make sense to you towards until the end, third week or the end of November. A lot of times, or in the readings that I did for November, many times the timeline was being referred to down the road towards the end of the month and towards December. So if this doesn't make sense to you at the beginning of November, do re-listen to it towards the end of November, as you will know exactly what this pertains to. Some of the situations will happen, and they won't happen at the beginning. They'll happen towards the end of November, so that way you will have no understanding of it when you are listening to it at the very beginning. October was a little bit interesting. The last 2 weeks for October for me felt very energetically all over the place. I felt like I was being pulled from different directions. I don't know if it had to do with any kind of alignments of the stars or planets, and if you do find it was the same for you, you're not alone. But if you also know why that is, feel free to enlighten me, because I don't know much about astrology. Actually, I don't know anything about astrology, to be honest. And I think that's all I have for you. November seems to be at least the first 2-3 weeks, it seems to be a little bit more chill, as I call it. Certainly a little bit more so than the last 2 weeks of October. So it looks like we're getting a bit of an emotional break, which is always a very welcomed aspect as far as I'm concerned. And I think that's all I have for you. Again, thank you so much for watching, for sharing, for liking, and for subscribing. And without further ado, let's go to the readings. See you soon. Hello and welcome back. This is going to be a reading for the sign of Gemini, moon sign, sun sign, and rising sign. I have 3 cards face down. I don't know what they are. I will proceed first with a message from Spirit and see where we get. Okay, let me connect. The words procrastination and evaluation are being shown to me. Evaluating one's ability to come up with ideas and one's ability to open up to the world in a way that has been restricted before. This can signify areas of work or career, but it can also signify areas of relationship building. Examination of one's beliefs is being addressed here. And when I ask what these beliefs are, or what is the need to address these beliefs, what's it about? I'm being shown that one's ideals are not congruent with where one is going. So in other words, there is some preconceived ideas that you have, whoever this pertains to, that need to be examined, ideas that need to be examined in order to reevaluate your situation and where that will take you going forward. I'm also being told that for some of you who this applies for, your level of understanding of yourself and trust is coming up to surface. In other words, there are aspects of yourself that you are not only needing to understand more deeply, but those areas are coming up for you to understand. And also the word trust is being shown to me alongside of those areas about you that you need to examine. He's saying to me that the word trust or the trust component is one of the largest areas of your life that you are dealing with and have been dealing with. Now, this is being, again, divided to me into two areas. One is pertaining to work, and there's another one regarding relationships. The trust pertaining to your work or your career goals, what I hear is, if you do not trust yourself fully, your clients or colleagues will not understand you. Not that they will not understand the message that you are sending or the message that you are giving or portraying, but they will not understand the depth of what you're trying to say, because it's almost like you are not convincing. So, if you're in sales and you are giving a sales pitch and your confidence is not there, the sales pitch will have a tendency to fall flat or fall on its face, because the underlying component, which is confidence, is not fueling your passion or the work that you do. That doesn't mean you don't have passion for what you do, but there is an issue regarding trust. Trust not with what you do, but trust with yourself. And that is in regards to the area of work. November seems to be a very significant month when it comes to accomplishments. And then he says major accomplishments, and this is being underlined. So there's some area of work, for those of you who this will apply to, where some significant changes will be made, but these changes will be predominantly on the thought process level or your thinking level or your belief level. I don't know if belief is the right word, but it's going to be pertaining to your ideas, ideology, or how you think about your work and yourself and life at large, he says to me. So there seems to be a huge component of a part of you that needs to be addressed and reassessed. And he says the word to me, faulty mechanism. So whenever I hear the word faulty mechanism, it does not imply that there's anything wrong with you, quite the opposite. But what it does suggest is that there is a mechanism running through your belief system that has, quote unquote, holes in it. And those holes are preventing you from reaching your career goals further. And he's underlining this as being extremely important part of not only your work going forward, but also self-discovery is being mentioned. I'm being shown, and I'm actually what I'm hearing is that the work that you do or the work that you will perform will help other people understand themselves better. Therefore, the level of understanding that you need to have about yourself is a critical point or critical part with regards to what you will do next. I am seeing I'm seeing spring, the word spring of 2017, and I'm also being taken to the month of May. So there is something in the spring or the month of May where you will be met with significant challenges pertaining to your work, area of work, work life. These challenges will be overcome, but they will require you to make significant changes in the way you think about the world. And he says to me the word minimize. What do you mean? I hear the words minimize the ability to judge I don't know what that means for you. I'm going to leave that statement for you to be interpreted by you, because I have no connection to it, and there's going to be different meanings to different people, but I'm just going to leave it at that. Now, he's also taking me to an area of relationships. This could be relating with other people, or it could be in the area of love or romantic relationships. What he's saying to me is that significant strides are being made in this area for you. However, he says to me, this is very interesting, you don't understand yourself deeply enough in order to not only recognize what true love is, but also to be able to nourish it and sustain it. And I have to kind of think about this statement, and he's asking me to move on. So I'm hoping that this is going to make sense to you. It is a bit of a convoluted message, but I always trust that whatever is coming forward, for those of you who are meant to understand it, you will get it right away. Trust in yourself and in your ability to do the right thing. And I'm being taken to someone's head, or to my head, which is my sign for having very busy thought process that is not allowing me to find peace mentally. Questioning. Should I do this? Should I do that? Should I do this? Should I do that? And what's being said is that if you trust your intuition, if you trust your own inner being, you will be guided exactly to the right situation that's going to be not only of service to you and service of others, but that's going to benefit you in tremendous ways. And he does say to me, there's fears connected to this, as in there is a fearful element on your part that is preventing you from fully trusting. So the theme trust and evaluating or reevaluating aspects of yourself when it comes to trust seems to be brought forward and magnified for you to pay attention to. And he's actually showing me a magnifying glass and looking at the aspect of trust in general. So for those of you who this is supposed to mean something, there are areas within your being that have or has challenges around trust. And this is trust with relationship. Now, this could be relating to you, relationship with yourself, or relating to other people. It's being taken in both directions, which affects, he says, every aspect of your life. I'm going to say most aspects of your life, but it is affecting every aspect of your life. I also hear the words, don't be so hard on yourself. And I'm seeing somebody beating themselves up over what was, but is no longer. As in, I should have known better, I should have done better, I should. And then he says, take off those glasses because they're no longer serving you. And the prescription in those glasses is no longer valid for you. You need new glasses. Okay, so this is a metaphor, and you will understand what this means. I also hear the words, don't be so passive. Very interesting statement. As in passivity, I don't even know if that's the right word. Being passive is not going to get you anywhere. So again, this is something to do with work, but it also can do with relationships. And I'm actually being taken both 50-50 here. So for some of you, this is definitely work. For some of you, this is definitely relationship, but relationship also happens at work. So anything to do with relating to other people and yourself. Now let's move on with the cards. The first card representing your past that has contributed to where you are today. We have the card called Balance. My favorite cards. In upright position, I love this card. Balance is pretty self-explanatory. Whether you want to call it balance, harmony. Somebody mentioned the word harmony to me a couple of weeks ago. Basically, this gentleman has every tool available to him to be able to handle life and move forward fearlessly. But this card is shown to me in reverse. And when I ask, and this is major arcana, so this is definitely something that was very substantial happening within you. And keep in mind, this is past circumstances. What I hear is that something happened, some situation or occasion or something happened that shattered your world. And the word shattered is actually being said to me. It's not an insignificant word. Something happened that shattered your world, that then made you not only feel a certain way, and the feeling whatever the feeling is currently within you, but also tainted you and tainted your vision of your life going forward. So this is in the past. Something happened in the past that shattered the way you relate to the world and the way you feel about the world and life itself. That's in the past. Your current position is a card that represents fulfillment of wishes, but it's in reverse. So let me just show you this way. This is Nine of Cups in a traditional tarot deck. It is a beautiful card. It is a card full of emotional freedom, expression, emotional balance, I want to say. And now you'll see these two waterfalls, which represent emotions to me, flow freely. There is no constriction, and everything is in balance. There is a chest here that signifies there is something hidden, a treasure hidden within those emotions, and the person in between is standing on the leaf, signifying there is a sense of lightness. However, this card is shown to me in reverse. 9 is also number of completion to me. So you are going through some kind of emotional, I want to say the word transition, but the word transition doesn't quite fit. I'll use the word transition for the time being until another word pops in. But you are going through some kind of rewiring on an emotional level when it comes to your emotions. When I connect with this feeling, it's taken me down all the way to my solar plexus, which signifies to me these are deep-seated emotional issues or challenges. I also hear the words you are being asked to look forward and not look back. He's saying to me that whoever this is for, you are spending considerable amount of time looking again at something that was but is no longer, and there is a sense of disappointment. I see tears falling. Tears could signify actually physically falling, tears falling, or a metaphor for sadness but being in it still, as opposed to it being in the past. I also hear what happened in the past won't help you today. Retain the learning, but let go of the emotional burden. Very, very important. And again, whoever this is for, I feel there's a struggle going on. There is, I feel like I'm being caught off guard. I am faced with emotions, or emotions are being stirred up within me that I don't know what is going on. I feel somewhat unsafe. I feel emotionally unstable and not quite sure what to do with it all. Be patient with yourself, for this is a time of your life where a lot of what you have been asking for will come to surface, and the asking is the learning, the asking is the wisdom. And he's showing me and saying to me that it is through your traumatic experiences, and that's the word that's being used, through your traumatic experiences that your wisdom will become very clear to you. Again, he's pointing me to spring. There is something about spring that will allow you to have crystal clear clarity, triple C, not only with regards to where you're going, but also there's a bit of nostalgia here. And I don't typically use that word. when I connect with spring and when I connect with that energy, when I look back, there is a bit of sadness, but it's also met with a deep understanding of who I am, meaning you. And then he says, not everything is roses going forward, but keep in mind that challenges are necessity in order to shape you into a sharp instrument. Very interesting metaphor here. So you're definitely going through something emotional upheaval, emotionally disturbed time. I feel emotionally all over the place, and there is a lack of emotional stability. So that's what's happening right now. Now the next card signifies a couple of things: possible future outcome, but also advice. So I'm going to take the first one as advice. Partnerships and alliances. Okay, so this is what it is when it comes to when it's upright. This is wands, this is your ideas, this is passion, this is creativity. Partnerships and alliances, that's pretty straightforward. But it's shown to me in reverse. And when I ask the question, what is this saying to me, or what is this saying to you, I hear the words, don't be so stubborn. He says, not everything was built by one man alone. And when I ask the question, please tell me more, he says, let others help you. Don't be so resisting to other people's help. And again, the word trust comes up. So this is pretty aligned with the message that came before the cards. And there obviously seems to be some trust challenges going on here. Trust that was compromised because of something that happened that shattered your world. Whoever you are and whoever this is for, I'm very sorry for what happened. And when our world gets shattered, it stinks. It's never a good thing, or at least it does not feel good or look good or present itself in a good way at that particular moment. However, it is important for you to understand that our darkest moments have the ability to shape us in a way that is amazing, and in a way that may not have been possible in any other way when you look at it from a bigger perspective. So again, he says, look at your past and draw conclusions that benefit you and benefit you going forward, rather than drawing conclusions that keep you stuck or keep you away from trusting others. And then he says, if you can't trust others, who can you trust? And trust is a funny thing. When we are born, we have instant trust. There is that word innocence of a child. We have this innocence that comes with trusting without conditions, without asking for anything in return. As we get older and as we experience situations and circumstances that uproot our trust, it can then become difficult in allowing ourselves to trust again. But he says, if you cannot trust anyone, who can you trust? And if the answer is no one, well, then it's a pretty lonely world. And he says, if you choose to walk your path with inability to trust, the only person that you are hurting is you and yourself alone. He says those who will benefit from you have to trust you. They have to trust you that what you present to them is something that will benefit them. So if you're asking others to trust you, what is preventing you from trusting others? And I'm going to leave it at this because I feel like I'm beating this issue up, maybe a little bit too much. However, again, he says, keep in mind that the world was not built by one man alone. People come together to create magnificent things, whether in relationships or in business or in relating just with other people. Allow yourself to trust, for the trust will then allow you to become free or regain your sense of freedom. And this is freedom in your thought, and this is also emotional freedom. Right now, he's saying to me, you're very restricted, but that restriction is something that is of your doing. In other words, you are restricting yourself from the freedom which you are seeking. And then he says, as long as you trust no one, people can't really trust you. So I'll let you ponder that idea. I hope this was helpful. This is a very interesting reading. If I was pounding on the word trust, my apologies. That's what I was asked to do. But I always trust that whoever this message is for, you will know exactly what's being said. Of course, if this doesn't make sense to you, you can listen to your other signs. They may offer you a greater picture. And thank you so much for watching, for listening, for liking, and for subscribing. I truly appreciate this. If you would like to comment on how this affects you or how this fits with you, I would love to read it. I read every single one of them. I wish you a wonderful month of, November, and I look forward to seeing you in December. And again, thank you so much for watching, and good luck.